everybody, to another episode of the Living Deadwax podcast. I am your host, Ty, and of course, I'm joined by my everlasting, I don't know, co-host, Tyler. Tyler,
Forever. Yeah.
how you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited to talk about album covers. That's the main topic for tonight.
Yeah, we almost did that last week by mistake. Both of us almost did that, so we didn't do that. So it was a good transition for this week to do it finally and knock it out. And I pulled a bunch. So
yeah, I got a healthy stack. Talk about I got 5 for sure and 5 on. I kept the stuff that I own just to make it easier on us. There was probably 100%. Some that I don't have in the collection yet that I could have put in, but just to keep it easy on us for tonight. Like always, we're going to start episode off with recent pickups. So Tyler, I know you got something to show.
So I didn't really go out too much here and do anything this week very much between last week and this week, but I did find in doing a random trip up to the Wally World, I check in, which is really weird still today. It's very weird when you go to like Target or Walmart that you check on like their vinyl section. It's still like a weird thing. But I decided to do that. And something I've been looking for this for, I guess, the last year or so now, since I did it. But it's the last one I needed from the first 5, right? Yeah. So I got, finally, after so much time, I got the Jump of the Fire Red, isn't that what it is? Jump of the Fire Engine Red, Metallica. So this is the one that I couldn't find for the longest time. I got everything else, like I got Justice first, and then slowly kind of pieced them together. And then I think the last one I got me and you bought, or I bought it, but me and you were at Zia together, and we found Black Album. Mm-hmm. So that was the last one I had found or I'd bought, but Kill 'Em All was the only one that wasn't really readily available all the time for some reason. Like, I like Kill 'Em All, whatever, but like I didn't really understand why it's the one that's always not available. So they will apparently be repressing these until they die. So this has been going on for like last year or two maybe. And it seems like they get another shipment in every 6 months or so.
Yeah, they always go down, they always go up in price, and then Walmart drops more, and then you see them at Zia, and Zia marks them at 50 plus.
Exactly so. So I don't know how that works. Like, I don't know how long we're gonna have the Walmart exclusive Metallicas, but that was the only one I think that was there. Visually random. There was like 3 copies of it. Everything else was gone. So they just have Kill 'Em All now.
Do you have it open? Can you show it? Because I haven't seen it in person.
Sorry, so I do have it open. Person. Something I do actually like this a lot is it's polylined. All the sleeves that Metallica does is polylined. So that's pretty nice. So with that being said, okay.
It's kind of like a darker red. Is it a little translucent or?
Oh yeah, it is. Definitely is. Like.
Oh okay.
Like, I don't know what you can
very
see
cool.
Face, but it's pretty sick. And Metallica does it right. Like, I'm actually pretty satisfied with all the represses. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's somebody way smarter and better than me that will disagree. Sure. But for my money, I have old copies of all of these, and I'm not saying they're like side by side, not that I've really done that, like I'm not that sophisticated maybe in my ears, but pound for pound the represses and the remasters sound about where you're going to get. And I actually listened to there's a guy on YouTube named Barack Pub. I forget, maybe I could be lying to you, but it's something along those lines. He does, I think I've shown you this guy before, he does a lot of side by sides. So he'll actually pull a bunch of pressings and he'll do proper side-by-sides comparisons on YouTube, and obviously YouTube compression, everything else, whatever. But you can still actually find that there is differences in a lot of pressings. So I actually like going to his channel, and I actually found this is from like 2-3 years ago now, so it's just the initial remasters they came out with like 2 or 3 years ago. And he compared Kill 'Em All with with an older '80s pressing. I don't think he has an original press, but an older '80s pressing with the 45, and then he compared it with the remaster. And for my money, the remaster sounded better. The
Mm.
45 actually sounds like shit to me. It sounds really soft. And
Hmm.
if I had the ability, uh, I would buy the 45 just because I'm a dumb fuck. So if I found it for a good price, I'd buy it. But if I had to listen to one, the remasters for me, especially with the cost, pretty okay. So
Yeah.
Kill 'Em
Yeah.
All, Metallica, Walmart exclusive.
Yeah, that's the one I still need to get. I have the Ride the Lightning and Master Walmart. I have a Justice, just regular
Yeah.
repress, and then I bought the 30th anniversary repress of Black Album.
Okay.
That sounds really good. That album's produced excellently, one of the
No,
best produced albums of all time. But they did a
ever.
really good they did a really good job on the remaster too. It's like I don't know how you really improve on it, but it sounds good
Yeah.
to me.
No, yeah. Black
So
Album,
yeah,
pound for pound, best drum sound of all time. Will forever say that. It's fucking perfect.
yeah,
If every drum sound that has ever happened sounded like that drum sound, I don't know. It'd be a utopia. But
yeah. Oh
for
yeah,
my money, that's the best drum sound
yeah.
ever.
The Sonics on there, it's amazing. Are you gonna finish it out? Are you gonna
Uh,
go get
so
load, reload?
so if I find them, I will do it. It's just that not that I don't buy stuff online, but I've seen them come back into stock. I see on Reddit with the vinyl deals, uh, which is a terrible thing to actually follow on Reddit with vinyl releases and vinyl deals. Terrible subreddits to follow because you'll just spend way too much money.
Hmm.
So whenever I see them come back into stock, I debate it because I think they are 30, 33, $35 or so. And
Hmm.
I don't have any copies of Load or Reload, and I never have. So if I find them, I'll buy them, and for a good price, especially, I will
Hmm.
buy them. And then Hardwired, they did Hardwired too, and then I
Death
think
Magnetic.
that's it. Yeah, or they did that. Yeah, I don't
I
have a
did
copy
Saint
of Death
Anger as
Magnetic
well.
either. And Saint Anger, yeah, they're
I
all
didn't mind. Yeah.
yeah. I don't have a copy of Saint Anger. I don't have a copy of Death Magnetic. That's I don't know. It's a weird deal.
Hmm. Yeah, I would. If I got that close to finishing the Walmart run, I'd be hard pressed not to just finish it. But that's just that's me.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, yeah.
Even though I don't know how often I would listen to those records on
I
vinyl.
mean,
So
you're right. I mean, I'm already the dumpster. If you're already the dumpster, you might as well just kind of complete it. So that's probably what I'm going to do if I find them. But I don't think, off the top of my head, I don't think I've ever actually seen Load or Reload in the stores. Um, I've
I
seen uh, Hardwired, but I think that's the
okay.
only one I've seen just of those like that group of them.
You frequent Walmart way more than me
Way
because
more than you, yeah,
we don't really have we have one that's kind of close. So I usually go to Target because it's right down the street.
yeah,
So I see the Target exclusives, but they obviously no Metallica exclusives at Target.
yeah. You
Um,
sold out. You're no longer hanging out with us plebes at the Walmart.
at the
So,
Walmart, yeah. Alrighty, so I got a couple pickups just
okay.
recently. Also, too, you didn't get the new Bruce?
So I have not gotten the new Bruce yet.
Oh, okay.
I have an ordering for the web store exclusive that hasn't come in yet,
Oh,
but
gotcha.
I have not picked up. There's an India web store and a black, and I think that's all I got so far.
Gotcha.
I haven't bought anything besides the web store though.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was just
Yeah.
curious. Um, so yeah, I stopped by Zia yesterday on the way home, or
Okay.
local, and they didn't really have what's up. It's funny.
No, it's funny. It's our local store. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, basically.
yeah.
And they didn't really have anything crazy there. They had a $60 copy of Power Slave, which
All
is
right.
just a regular '80s copy of Power Slave, $60. You know, I bought it a year ago there for about 25.
Yeah.
So,
Still with the raised cover.
oh yeah. So, but yeah, $60 on the wall, you know, all day. It just goes for
Yeah.
$60 now. Anyway,
Well, we talked about this a million trillion fucking times at this point. Every Maiden record that exists, besides, but ironically enough, besides the new one, every Maiden record is $50 plus now. So brand new, which is insane. So they're out of press, and so until they go back into press, the going rate for a copy of Killers, for Iron Maiden, for any of those is $51 plus, which is insane.
Yeah, I got the 40th anniversary of Number of the Beast coming. I did pull the trigger because it's got Beast over Hammersmith, which is the first time it's the first time that's ever been re-released on vinyl. It's the first time I think it's been re-released outside of the big box CD box that they did a number of years ago. So that's why I pulled the trigger on that, but that was $50. Like, it's just,
was that released back then?
Beast over Hammersmith? I'm almost positive, yes. But I know
not here though.
I could be talking my ass. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was released back in the day on vinyl LP, and then it was in a big box set. I think Eddie's Archive, which is like the one that's like Eddie's head. That's the tin that opens up. You've probably seen it online.
Yeah.
It was in that, and I had a rip of that on iTunes. That's the only time I've ever heard that show. So I'm excited to see that. As far as I'm aware, it's the same mix and remaster since 2012. So the record itself is no different, other than the track listing. But they took off. I think they took off Gangland and put on Total Eclipse. So I don't know.
Because Steve doesn't like the song, right?
I don't think Steve likes Gangland. I don't know. So it's different that way. But I just got it for the live. But that's a little side Maiden tangent that everything.
We'll showcase that more.
Yeah, everything is just $50, no matter what, used, new, whatever. That's the starting point.
I'm not even in the market. I'm not even buying Iron Maiden records. But it's fucking infuriating to me that one of the biggest bands in the world, their fucking vinyl records from this year or last year, their new pressings of these fucking records here are fucking $50 for a single LP, fucking no gatefold, nothing. They're just $51.
Yeah. I actually did it right and got in just when the getting was good, because right when I started collecting again, I was able to get all those same old represses, like all the 90s albums that came out that I got originally on Amazon again. And they were still like $30, whatever they were. And now I don't even want to look at any prices for any of those. So
I can guarantee you it's over $100 at least.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, back on topic. So my brother Josh and I just went to a show last weekend. We saw Monomarth, Carcass, Obituary, and Cattle Decapitation. Yeah. Awesome show. Seen a Monomarth a handful of times, basically in bars. So it was really cool to see them with the full stage setup, and kind of like I see them when I watch videos of them like overseas. So very, very cool. They always put on a good show. Carcass was the band I really wanted to see. Legendary band, been around forever. If you're into any type of extreme metal, like, they basically created two genres. They created grindcore, sort of, and then they basically did the first melodic death metal album. So two very different extremes. They've got Michael Amott was a former member who went on to form Arch Enemy. So like Carcass kind of has like their ties into a lot of things within extreme metal. So like they were one of those bucket list bands for sure. And it was a kick-ass show. And it got me thinking, like, I got their newest record on vinyl, Torn Arteries, that came out beginning of this year or last year. Great album. And then I didn't have this record again. I needed to rebuy this.
Yeah.
And that's Surgical Steel. This is their 2013 comeback album. Their last album before this was 96. Swan Song, and then they came back 2013 and dropped this. And I freaking love this record. Killer gatefold there. And Carcass's kind of thing is they started out, Jeff Walker's sister was in medical school, and they got all their song lyrics and titles and stuff from her medical dictionaries. So that's kind of how they started out, and that's where that stuff came from. That's a really good record, really melodic, kind of thrashy. It comes on this really cool
Hell yeah.
blue with a red splatter. Looks like blood there.
Yes, it does.
Very cool.
Like steel on blood or blood on steel.
Yeah. This is a really, really good record, and one I had to have back into the collection, and one I
remember you
definitely
bought the record originally, and I just remember because I think about that every time we see it, or I've seen it. I think about it every time because I just remember the cover is just so ridiculous with all the fucking instruments on it, just pieced, together and stuff. It's just insane. So I remember that vividly because I remember when you bought it way back when. I was like, this is fucking intense.
Well, that's not even their intense shit. They got record covers that you don't even want to see. Like some of their early albums, it's ridiculous. Fun band though, really cool show. And that record, I was listening to that album on Spotify before going to the show, and like just kind of, man, I fucking love this album. So they just reissued that like earlier this year, so it's still relatively cheap. Like you can get that pressing for like $25. So
hell yeah,
definitely a good.
What are they on? Are they on Metal Blade?
Nuclear Blast.
Okay, the other,
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's only a handful anymore.
Yeah.
And you're out of pickups?
Yeah. You keep going, brother. That's all I got. Yeah.
I'll run through. I got 2 more after this one. Tina Turner.
Wow.
Private Dancer. This is $3.
Is that cellophane?
No, but it looks gorgeous. So that's why.
Real nice.
That's why I got it. So it was just like. I mean, this is the record.
Don't turn it down.
Yeah, I mean, Tina's got a lot of songs, but this has "What's Love Got to Do with It," "I Can't Stand the Rain," "Private Dancer." So, had to pick that up. This is also
not on there, right?
No, that is not on here. I don't know what album.
Next record, I think.
Probably, yeah, it's probably later. This is '83. This is a Columbia House pressing too.
Ooh, nice.
So kind of cool. Kind of cool. So Carcass to Tina.
Done many times, as you do.
And then we've got an album cover that I will not be showing later. Okay. Cranberries.
You don't like that? That's not one for you?
Dude, the guy over here is wearing denim on denim.
I love it.
And then the one guy's wearing all white. The other guy's wearing all black. I mean, Dolores looks fine, but it's just
looks like it's like the like South Park Faith Plus One, that episode when they do the religious whatever.
Yeah,
and like you gotta look at the sunset. Yeah, look over there. Yeah. Don't look at the camera, and then you look directly at the camera. All that stuff. That's what they're doing.
Yep, 100%. That's what they're doing. This is Stars. This is the Greatest Hits 92 to 02. I've been eyeing a Greatest Hits collection that I've seen at Zia for a long time called Dreams. It's like the singles collection, but it only has like 12 tracks on it, and it's $50 for a single LP. So I was not doing that. I saw this there randomly, and this was only like 30, and it's double LP with 20 songs.
Is that new, or is that been there for a minute? We just I've never seen it.
It's got a 2020 copyright, but this was reissued in 2022. So, according to Discogs. So, fairly new. I think that other singles collection is fairly new too. I got a gatefold, pictures of the band. Pretty cool. I mean, this has all the songs you want on it, and I want to dive into some of their other stuff because, like, I know the songs that I love. So, it'd be cool. This is just on black. That's very cool.
Hell yeah.
And last, got running the gamut here tonight on the pickups. Got a little bit of black metal.
There you go.
This is a band called Storm Ruler. These guys are from St. Louis, Missouri.
Would never have guessed, really.
Yeah, right. So American black metal. This album was called Sacred Rites and Black Magic. This album's getting tossed around. Like everybody's talking about it in the scene on the forums and shit, and I saw it there. It was like $23, and I'm like, I'll give it a shot. Great fucking album cover. I really love all the new school American black metal. Cool gatefold there.
Yeah.
I really love all the new school American black metal. They kind of take what's best about like early Emperor and like Dark Throne and stuff, but they Americanize it and they mix in like a little summoning. Summoning is very epic. So there's like two ways these bands go. They either like do emperor worship or summoning worship. And
Oh wow.
this is kind of a mixture of both, but I
Yeah.
really enjoy it. And they do kind of Americanize it. A lot of the bands because they'll put guitar solos in it and too, so they'll make it a little bit more melodic. Really dig this record. Highly recommended it.
Do American black metal bands do corpse paint or no?
I don't think I looked at a couple pictures of this band. I don't think they do.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, so a lot of these American metal bands, like I think this band is on tour right now with Cannibal Corpse, but a lot of them like don't even tour. They're usually just side projects and stuff.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think these guys are on tour right now, big package tour with Cannibal Corpse headlining. So that's cool for them.
That's real cool for them.
Yeah, this is really freaking good. Highly recommended. Pretty melodic. If you're into that American style black metal, I highly suggest checking them out.
That's awesome.
And very cool album cover too. So
made in the USA, St. Louis black metal.
You can't beat it. 100%. 100%. So yeah, I mean I really dig a lot of that American black metal. Like it just keeps coming out like the last 10 years.
And like hotbed? Is there a hotbed for American black metal? Like, is there a certain like a town or region that cranks it out more than any others?
Well, to be honest with you, I think it's like kind of the mountain, like the Rockies. There's a couple big bands there that I really like. Cowden Brood from Utah, and Stormkeep. Not that band. Storm Ruler was that band. Stormkeep, another band from Denver. It's like a lot of bands pop up in like Colorado, Utah.
Like, old places.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, kind of like Norwegian black metal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I guess kind of those areas, but there's a lot of different bands. Wolves in the Throne Room has been doing it forever.
I know them.
But yeah, there's these new bands. They're very derivative forms, but they kind of Americanize it, and for whatever reason, it just catches on with me. Like almost every, I can just look at the album cover online and go, oh yeah, I like that. And and sure as shit, I was like, yeah, I took a risk, and everybody hypes it up, and usually sometimes that backfires, but usually if people are hyping it up in the scene, it's usually worth it. So
that's fair. No, it's awesome. I'm glad that we're bringing back the scene here in America for that black metal. I like that.
I mean, dude, I'm gonna be real with you. Like a lot of the new bands are from America.
That's awesome.
There's not a ton of new bands dropping from like Europe that do it, and there's still a lot of the legacy bands still going, obviously. But I don't know. Maybe it's just ran its course, and like nobody's influenced over there. I don't know by that old stuff, but they're all the kids who grew up on it here are now doing bands. So yeah. So yeah,
that's sick.
Yeah. So let's get into main topic. We're doing album covers. So did you like pick your favorite, or is this like what you think are the best of all time, or what's your criteria here?
So these are just album covers I really like. I don't think most of them, if any of them, are really necessarily going to be on all-time lists. These are the ones I'm super into. I also tried to avoid stuff that I've already brought up or talked about with you or on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, because I could bring up I could bring fucking guns back up. I could keep running this shit out here if I really wanted to, and I could do this every week with you. Just another guns release that I'm super into, right? So like another reason to bring it out. So I tried to avoid everything. So everything I pulled, I want to say we have not touched on at this point. I don't think we've touched on much of the bands, but for sure have not touched on these records. So that was my only criteria for myself, is I wanted to kind of go off from what we just already have been doing.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was kind of my criteria too. Like I almost pulled Bloody Kisses, and we literally just talked about Bloody Kisses last episode. So I was like, I held off that. So I'm trying to do different bands that we haven't talked about, and definitely different albums. So these are really just my favorites that I knew that were in the collection. I got a couple that I truly rank as like truly my favorites. So if you want to kick us off, and we'll just go back and forth. Are you going to do honorables first, or are you going to run through your?
I'll just so Ty's a lot more methodical about this than I am. I usually, as we're doing this, I just like, all right, I guess this is my top 5, and then like everything else kind of comes into play. So like, I'm just gonna grab and see what happens.
Okay.
So one that I've been super into since I found out what this band was or whatever. So I saw a documentary about like a secret band that kind of fell off the face of the earth on Vice. I want to say this is like 6 or 7 years ago, and it's a band called Slint from Louisville, Kentucky. So they're a band from the late 80s, very early 90s. They got together as literal children, like 14, 15-year olds, and they made 2 records. So their second record was Spiderland. So
Oh,
they're like a
you've talked. Okay.
noise, yeah, they're like a noise rock, post-hardcore, other genre you want to place into there. And they're literally children. Like they're like 17, 18, 19 years old, and it's just them floating in a quarry in Kentucky. And something I always like the story behind album covers and stuff, like in the
Yeah.
pictures. So it's them floating; it's just their heads. And so way back when, obviously the internet didn't exist, obviously. So like when people would get the album or they'd see pictures or a zine or something, it'd always be this kind of picture. And at a certain point, like the photo was so like Xeroxed out that you kind of just see floating heads. And it became like the dudes just became floating heads. Like that was the entire album. That's how people found out, and like they found the dudes. There's floating heads in this whole like little. I guess at a certain point didn't look like a quarry anywhere. Just had heads, right? So like, I just like this a lot. The record's really cool. Spiderland, super cool record. Would recommend listening to it if you're into post hardcore, noise rock, math rock, mathcore, all that stuff, all those subgenres. Super sick. They broke up before the record ever came out, actually, because I believe, yes, lead singer's depression, and they broke up. And then they got back together later, like 10 years later, and they played some shows here and there. And they're a big legendary band in those subgenres.
Mhm.
So, whatever. But it's just kind of cool because that documentary that I watched, it's basically just them trying to track down like the legend of Slint. And it's just, they'd made 2 records in like 4 days. And, they just were kids. So, and whatever. But Slint, Spiderland, I just saw the super cool picture and a cool album artwork, and the story behind it's super sick. So there you go.
So they broke out before it ever came out. So when did it come out originally?
91, I want
Oh,
to say.
okay. Wow.
So 91, yeah.
The
This is a
reason
2014 repress.
Gotcha. The reason I asked is because that album cover looks like an album cover that a band would do today. It
Yeah, no, you're
100%
right.
looks like a post-hardcore or like
No, yeah,
those type of genres. That looks like a fucking album cover that would come out right now.
no, 100%. Yeah, black and white, like that's a whole aesthetic for sure.
Mm,
Yeah, but Slint, Spiderland, super sick. Would recommend checking it out.
gotcha. All right, let's go. I'm gonna do some. This is an honorable, but yeah, we'll just run through the list here. I wanted to put like one newer band, and this is a band I mentioned earlier. This is Stormkeep.
There you go.
So this is
See,
Black.
I fucking hate the fact that you're gonna have so many fucking sick like black metal fucking shit, because like that's a whole fucking like thing is their artwork, and no fucking genre that I like has so much fucking concentrated fucking, well, I guess
Yeah.
metal, I guess in general, but like
Mhm.
the black metal scene is so fucking like the artwork is so fucking ridiculous and sick. I hate it.
Yeah. I think this is the only black metal record
Okay.
I pulled, honestly. But
You could pull fucking 30 of them. Like
oh
you
yeah,
could just keep pulling them, and they're just so always sick.
yeah. I love my hand drawn painted album covers, and metal is notorious for that. So that you're going to see that theme throughout the night. I
Yeah.
really dig this album cover, done by an artist. What's his name? Les Edwards. Really cool. I don't know if the band commissioned him for this or if this is a piece that he did before. Really cool album too. Like this has a whole like backstory to it. Like there's a map in here for like this created world that they created, very like Tolkien like type stuff. But they like created this region, and there's a map in here that goes with the lore and shit. Like if you're in the lore in records, like this is a record for you. Very cool Americanized black metal, just like I was talking about the other band, Storm Ruler, very similar name from a similar kind of, no, not region, that's St. Louis, but this is Denver. So,
Yeah.
but America. So very cool record. And I love the album cover, man. Sick.
Nice.
Got a castle on there. Yeah, I love the light up there.
fucking lightning going on.
Yeah, I got
That's
it.
sick as shit. See, it's actually pretty cool. Like for black metal, like covers, like yeah, they could have found that artwork, and all for a black metal band, they just need to put the fucking logo in the corner there, and with the fucking title at the bottom, it's done. Like you don't need to do anything else more than that, really.
Yeah. Name of the record is Tales of Other Time. If you want to check it out, really quick, I will show the pressing. I try to get better at pulling pressings, like if it's a colored pressing, like showing it off. This is on like a really nice marbled red.
Nice, like a ruby.
Yes. So it matches the logo very well. So I do like that colorway.
That's awesome.
Very cool. Cool record. And I wanted to represent something newer. So there we go.
Fair. All right. So that is that your newest record, you think?
Oh yeah. Well, I have a record from last year. I think this record is last year as well, but the band is a legacy band. This is by far this. I think they're like within the last 5 years.
Okay.
Band.
So that's the newest band, newest album. Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
All right. So something I'll do next. All right. So I'll do. So I'm a big singer-songwriter guy. Obviously, I do this every episode. But something I do love that is polarizing to certain folks is one Mr. John Mayer. I love John Mayer. I'm a big John Mayer fan. This album is called Born and Raised. This is not my favorite John Mayer record. I do like the record, but the album artwork itself is so fucking cool. It's so intricate. There's so much going on with it. And he was really, really inspired by the guy that actually made this album cover. He does so. This album cover is like I don't know how to describe because what so this guy that made the album cover, he does stained glass work.
Oh, okay.
So he does stained painted glass, and this is what he does for a living in England. And he does just insane shit for businesses, and it's obviously $1 trillion, right? So John Mayer saw a lot of his artwork and stuff, and a lot of the glass work that he did, and he wanted to commission him for the artwork. So there's actually like a 10-minute mini documentary on YouTube about it, and you can actually watch him create the album artwork. And he drops all the glass and he stains and he paints it, like the entire thing. It's super fucking crazy, but like there's just so much to look at here. Like you'll never really see everything. It's just so much. See the clock right there, the watch, I guess, and it's like the inside of a grandfather clock looking thing, right?
Yeah.
There's coins and shit, and it's just so cool. And the B&R, John Mayer, like everything is just super sick, and it's a really cool aesthetic for the record. But not my favorite John Mayer record. But there's a lot of cool songs in here. But the album artwork itself, I actually have me and you found. I don't know, it's Zia. It had been in Zia. I found a 24x24 big artwork for this that I bought. That's in my closet that I've never put up or anything like that. Whatever. But I just bought it because I just thought the artwork was so fucking cool. But Born and Raised John Mayer, he always has pretty cool album covers, typically. But this is my favorite one he's ever done. Fucking
gotcha.
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah, it's very steampunky.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Industrial Revolution, like steampunkish. Very cool. Yeah, I didn't know that backstory either.
Yeah,
about it.
It's like it's and they have it's like medals in there, like war medals and stuff, and awards and things, and like all the coins have the guys' faces on them and stuff.
So does that stuff represent stuff that's like songs that are on the album? Do you know?
So yeah, there's inspiration from the record on it. I can't tell you off the top of my head the direct songs for each thing, but there definitely is inspiration on it.
I got you.
Yeah, it's just so much going on here. But if you're into John Mayer, I feel like I'm saying that John Mayer. I feel like I'm saying that weird. If you're into John Mayer and specifically into this record, I would recommend looking up on YouTube the Born and Raised mini doc where the guy actually does the whole thing and he gifts John Mayer a copy of this. I don't think it's the original, maybe, but he redoes it and he gifts him the copy. It's super sick.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I'm gonna go with a legacy band that dropped a record last year. Easily my favorite record of last year. We're gonna go with Halloween. This is all hand painted artwork. That's why I love it. There's a lot of details that reference old albums.
Oh wow.
Basically, the kind of gist of this album is they brought back everybody from the band. So they have 3 singers on this album, so it represents all different eras. Um, and it sounds like, oh, that's going to be a clusterfuck, but the way they do it, this album is so great. The way they tie all 3 singers together, and I absolutely love the fact that they did a hand painted album cover, because Halloween's album covers got really bad. They
Oh
did a
yeah.
lot. They did a lot of CG stuff, and they were in like the CG realm way farther along than what they should have been. Like, I'm talking like a few years back, releasing albums that were CG album covers and just did not look good. And this is one of their best, if not the best album cover. I love the back of it too. Very cool. There's like a spaceship on there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the old cover you're talking about here. So you're talking about like straight out of hell.
Yeah, Straight Outta Hell, My God Given Right, Gambling with the Devil. Honestly, off the top of my head, like the next best album cover, I think, is Better Than Raw.
Oh wow, 98, brother.
Yeah. And then they kind of had a very like doldrum forever until this, and then they finally did this, and it's funny because everybody was,
That Dark Ride.
dude, that's a great album, but a miserable album cover.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did not really get back to their roots, and their early records are all hand painted. Like Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1 and 2 are excellent album covers, but to me, this is their best album cover.
Okay.
Honestly, and I love the presentation of this. Cool gatefold. Got the band on one side, and then liner notes and stuff, and more art in there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, great album too. Highly recommended. Halloween power metal, German power metal. One of the
their old covers
OGs.
I'm looking through here right now are fucking sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
That's awesome.
Walls of Jericho, Keeper of the Seven Keys, Part 1 and 2, really good record album covers. They get kind of weird, like Pink Bubbles Go Ape. That's a terrible album cover. The girl's eating the fish.
Chameleon's not a good album cover either.
Chameleon's just, yeah, it's yeah, exactly. That's their worst album too. Really AOR poppy stuff.
Yeah.
That basically broke up the band. It really changed. It did. It changed the band. Michael Kiske left after that. They kicked him out because he wanted to go in that direction, like pop AOR type stuff. They kicked him out, and that's when Andy Darris came in, who's the current lead singer. And Andy's been in the band since then, since the mid '90s, and now they brought everybody back. So it was kind of Andy's doing too, because he loves the band so much, and he loves the history of the band. Like, he was very instrumental in bringing Kai Hansen and Michael Kiske back. And I think that's really fucking cool, because the lead singer doesn't have a giant fucking ego, and he's like, yes, I want to share the stage with you guys. And it's really cool because Kai will sing his songs, and Andy will sing his songs, and Michael will sing his songs, but then they also have songs together. So they've changed some songs up where they'll do them in duets and stuff, or even have all 3 of them. And I think that's awesome. It's like the Van Halen dream, you know? Like, if they could all just fucking get along, you know?
They're all full-time in the band.
As of right, yes, they are right now. They keep touring.
That's crazy.
The reunion was like 2018. They're coming here next year, and Anna and I are going to see them in Vegas. And yeah, it's really, really cool. Like, there's a Vakken set I have to show you sometime. You know, that's really, really impressive. Just check out a couple tracks. Like, it's really cool to see them all on stage.
So they just switch off. They go off stage, go backstage, whatever, and they just come out, whatever, like in the set.
Kai is also a guitar player. So Kai Hansen, it was the original lead singer of Halloween and also a guitar player. And then he wanted to stop singing. So that's when he brought in Michael Kiske. And I told you why Michael left after Chameleon. So Kai is basically on stage the whole time, but they kind of do it where if it's an Andy song, Michael will sometimes lead the stage. But like I said, they changed some songs to where they'll do them in like a duet, or even have all 3 of them sing on the songs. Or like if they're playing like Walls of Jericho stuff, which is a Kai Hansen, that's their first record, Kyle just sang the song. So yeah, it's really, really cool, amazing stage show. I'm really excited to see him. That came on, I believe, just show off the record real quick. That was the wrong record. Here you go. Came on a gold. It's very cool.
That's cool.
Just matches the kind of aesthetic.
You've had a few gold records here in the last few weeks that I like. I don't think I have any gold records like that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I have any. I think all my gold is I think all my gold, quote unquote, is mostly like yellow orange. Like it's not like gold like that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, that's fucking sick though. Super dope. All right, so another one that I have here that I'll pull. So, all right. I always loved this album artwork. This is the first album artwork I knew of, or the first album I knew of from this artist, I guess, at this point in time. So in 1975, right? 75, yeah, good. I know things. I should probably do a little more research. So 75, this guy broke up his band and assumed the name of the band and became the character. That is one Mr. Alice Cooper.
Yeah, good choice.
So, yeah, Welcome to My Nightmare. So basically it shows him, obviously, on the artwork here as kind of like the ringleader of the circus, basically. And it's a super cool record. This is my favorite Cooper record, like 100%. I listen to this record quite often. This is the Friday music, which is not great necessarily pressing, but it's the best. I bought, like me and you, like you've seen me buy at least like 5 or 6 copies of this record trying to get the best copy. And this is still, I mean, it's obviously repressed, but it's still the best copy I have. It's just hard to find this in really nice condition. But yeah, Welcome to Nightmare. It's super sick of the bugs in the background, which is super fucking cool. Yeah.
I've never even noticed that before.
Oh yeah, the dragonflies and spiders and stuff. Yeah. And then Cooper on there, obviously. And the new Cooper logo, which is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
All about that. The whole record too, the back, all the bugs and stuff on it. So previous to this, obviously, it was the Alice Cooper Band, and $1 Billion Babies was the last band record. And then he wanted to do more theatrical stuff because they started getting more and more theatrical as time went on. And the other guys just wanted to be a straight up rock band, and then they kind of broke away. And then those guys went off and did $1 Billion Babies, the band, which I've never actually listened to that one. I know it exists, and I've seen it a couple times, but I've never bought it, never listened to it. But they did $1 Billion Babies, the band, and then he just kept on as Alice Cooper and is still, to this day, rocking it, putting out records, and being fucking awesome at 70, like, he's like 75, 76 at this point.
Yeah,
and he still sounds fucking cool. So, love it. Like, we saw Cooper fucking, 5 years ago or whatever it was, still fucking awesome. So, yeah. All about that. Love it. But Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare. If you're a Cooper fan, or if you're into theatrical rock, listen to Cooper and watch Cooper videos and stuff because he does so much cool shit on stage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good album cover. That's a good choice.
Yeah. This is actually, when I said it last week, for some reason, this actually flashed in my brain almost immediately. So I was like, Welcome to My Nightmare. Yeah. Yeah,
so then that definitely is one of your favorite album covers then, if like it came to mind instantaneously. And obviously that's Bob Ezrin, right? Obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bob Ezrin. He did all. I think he's done. He did this. He did more Cooper than I did, because I remember he stopped working with Cooper for a little bit there when he got super fucked up, and then he brought him back in for the Rehab record. I think From the Inside. He did that record with him. And then maybe like Paper Cuts or Zipper Cut Scan or whatever it is. He might have done that too. And stopped working together. Then he came back for like a couple of the newer records.
Gotcha. Like, reason I ask because it'll segue nicely into another Bob Ezrin joint.
Nice.
Peter Gabriel, his first solo album. Just Peter Gabriel, even though he has 4 albums just called Peter Gabriel, but they're all titled different things. But anyway. I absolutely adore this album cover. One of my all-time favorite album covers. I love the raindrops on the car. Like, they almost look 3D.
Yeah.
I always thought they really pop off the page. And then on the back, You have a different angle
Nice.
there. Yeah, it's just very simplistic, but to me, like it captures kind of the vibe of the record. And a lot of people don't like this record because it's way different than Genesis. Like the production on it is way different. But I really love this record. Obviously, Salisbury Hill, classic track, and
Yeah.
really cool album cover. This is actually I think my only non-metal album cover. So
Oh wow.
and
No,
it
that's
made the
super cool.
cut.
It's like I said, it's very simplistic, very cool, and like I just always think like so that's the first taste that a lot of people had of Peter Gabriel because maybe people didn't really know that like he was in Genesis or whatever, right? Or they didn't know what he looked like, they didn't know like what to expect. That's the
Mhm.
first taste of Peter Gabriel. Super sick.
Yeah. I mean, you're 100% right because he's probably there's probably a lot of people who didn't know he was in Genesis or obviously he
Yeah,
was very theatrical in Genesis too, so he would do the stage get ups and makeup and costumes and shit too. So this is very like stripped down, like Peter Gabriel just looking out a car window on a rainy day. So
yeah,
I've always just enjoyed this album cover for whatever reason. It's resonated with me, and this is one that I had to throw in for the non-metal stuff. So.
fair enough.
But obviously, if you're into prog or the prog adjacent stuff, Peter Gabriel. If not, check it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so another one that I thought of immediately because I thought about when I was a little kid. So when I was a little kid, going through my dad's records and vinyl or whatever, um, certain album covers caught my eye, and I also only knew a handful of bands that he had. Right, the biggest bands like Zeppelin, the Doors, I guess, Queen, whatever, like just the biggest possible bands in the world. Like that's all only ones I knew. So one of the other bands, biggest bands in the world, that he was a big fan of, which is not, everybody's a big fan of this band, but Pink Floyd, Momentary
Ooh,
Lapse of Reason. So this
nice.
album cover was always super cool to me. Like I always thought it was really
Sure.
awesome. And I remember bringing it up to my dad and being like, "Hey dad, like what's up with the album cover there?" And he was very quick to point out that it was all real. Thurgerson, Thorgerson,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Something. Yeah.
yeah, the guy that he's done all the massive Floyd album covers, obviously. But he and his partner wanted to create this visual, and it's all real. It took, I think, 10 days setting the whole thing up, um, and it's connected to different lyrics in the songs. I forget because I'm not a massive Momentary Lapse of Reason fan. Ty likes this era a lot,
Oh yeah.
um,
I
but
thought I would be the first person on this channel to bring either that or Division Bell up. So you beat me
yeah,
to it.
yeah, it's fair. Yeah, like there's a lot of cool songs like "Signs of Life," "Learning to Fly," obviously, like "Dogs of War." Like there's a lot of cool songs on this record. Um, but the cover itself it was just really mesmerizing for me as like a whatever 8-year-old when I found it, and I was just like, how is this possible? Like there's an infinite amount of hospital beds going across the beach. Like that's insane. But yeah, I always just
Yeah.
really loved this album cover.
Yeah. Good choice.
Yeah, this is the so originally bought uh this was supposed to be Bruce. I think it's supposed to be 18 tracks, the Bruce reissue from like 3 years ago, and they sent this instead. And this was at the
Oh.
time worth more money, so I just kept it. So
Oh, got you. So that's the reissue.
correct.
That's okay. That's the same one I have.
So Brittany bought this for me, and then so she gave it to me, and the box was sealed, and the box said I didn't look at that side of it, but the box said 18 tracks, Bruce Springsteen on it, right? And so I just opened it, and I didn't look at the little tag on it, right? I just opened it, and I was like, oh, cool. Like
Mhm.
I didn't know you were gonna buy me this. She's like, that's what? And it was the wrong record. And I was like, well, it's funny. This is a record that I would have bought too, but whatever.
Sure.
At the time though, this was like $35 or $38 or something or other. And the 18 tracks was like 24. And so I ended up buying that later and I kept this because like, well, this is more money. So whatever. No reason sending it back. But I do like this record. It's just not my favorite Floyd, obviously. But Ty is a massive fan of this era.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right, good choice. Unexpected.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just going straight album art, brother. Straight album art.
Gonna do a twofer here. Same band, done by the great Ed Repka. If you're into 80s thrash, death metal, 90s death metal, you've seen his art. You've seen his art whether you wanted to see it or not. He still does stuff. And I actually found out today, just doing a little bit of research, that he actually works for NECA, who do all the
Oh, wow.
action figures, like horror and stuff. He's like the lead painter and design artist for NECA.
Oh, wow.
So
That's awesome.
still out there doing shit. But Death, Spiritual Healing, just all time fucking classic album cover. You got the TV evangelist preacher or whatever, doing healings.
Televangelists, yeah.
Televangelist, yeah, 100%. And this is my program. So enjoy watching it. King of the Hill, King of the Hill.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely love this album cover. Obviously, it just fits the album title 100%.
Yeah.
Very cool artwork. And then we'll go another Ed Death album because he did the first 3 Death records, Leprosy. Absolutely love that one too.
I always love the pink whenever I see that record. I always love the pink, the red pink sky. I always thought that was super sick.
Yeah, very eye grabbing. It's like, yeah, like you know what you're getting into when you pick up this record. That's what I love about these era death metal covers. Like they're not trying to fool anyone. Like
yeah.
It's like the music matches the album cover. So
it's one of those things. Like I think a lot of these, at least that we're picking out here, I think it's like if you didn't know who the band was, but you saw the album cover, you might be drawn into buying that based just solely on the album cover. 100%. I've done that very few times in my life, but I would like to say that if you're already into that genre and you just see the album cover, you're like, all right, this is gonna be fucking awesome, so I'm gonna buy this. Like I think that album cover would be a sale by itself for sure.
Well, back in the day, that's what you had to do because nobody could sample your music other than that. They saw it in a magazine or they saw it on, the shelf at the record store. Like that's what you had to do, man. That was advertising.
Yeah, it was word of mouth. It was zines, and it was just artworks. It's all it had. It's all it was.
Yeah, and I'll show off.
Hell yeah.
That's Spiritual Healing. So very cool. These are the most recent reissues. I had like an oh shit moment because I couldn't find Spiritual Healing, but it got shoved in between 2 of the other Death records, and it was in the back of the shelf. And I'm like, what? I thought I bought all these reissues. I'm like, am I missing one?
Are they all Smash like that? Are they all like that? I feel like I've seen all the ones I've ever seen are like that. The Smash vinyl, like the whatever. I don't think that's what it's called. I don't know.
Oh yeah, basically kind of similar design. Yeah, for this run that they did. The first run had like more like pinwheelish designs.
Okay.
So, but I like these. I dig them, and I like the pink there. That matches Leprosy really well. So, the album cover, not the disease, I guess.
Yeah, not disease.
But yeah.
I mean, practically, I guess if they have Leprosy, they're going to see a lot of red and things, unfortunately, and probably some pink too. It's not great.
Oh yeah, not a good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that artwork. It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. We go a little more down in your neck of the woods here.
Okay.
Another one I thought of pretty quickly in thinking about this, and I don't think you own it. So I don't think it's going to be in your count in your account here. So Megadeth,
I do own it.
Rust in Peace. You do own it? Okay, is it in your list right now?
It's not, but I have another Megadeth album. That's also Ed Repka too.
There you go. I was going to ask you what other bands he's worked with. So is Megadeth with Death? Who else?
Megadeth and Death. They're the 2 biggest bands. Keep going. Keep talking. I'll look them up again.
So Rust in Peace is super cool just because it has all the world leaders behind Vic holding up the I guess what would it, I guess like the uranium or like whatever alien heart.
I thought it was like plutonium or uranium or something like that. That's what I always interpret it.
Because then you have the alien in the tube here, and you have Bush, you have Gorbachev, other guys who I'm not really privy on that. Probably other European history that I don't know about, but it's just super cool. I always love Vic's overall like look here. I really love just this art style. Like, yeah, Refka did. It's just super sick. I think Megadeth and just metal in general in that era, especially thrash, they just had really really cool album artwork. And I think Megadeth's personally, I think Megadeth's the cleanest and it looks the best than all those bands. I just think it just the colors, all the detail, it just looks the best to me. Plus, I think the Megadeth's logo is fucking way better than most bands' logos. It's fucking cool. But
yeah, the whole kind of marketing, like design push with Megadeth after the first record, like it all came to fucking together.
yeah,
Like you
100%.
got it's basically Iron Maiden because you got your mascot with a kick-ass logo and kick-ass covers, but they execute it so in a different way. Some other bands that Ed's worked with, Atheist, he did Piece of Time, which is a really cool album cover. Obviously Megadeth, he's done a Municipal Waste.
Oh wow,
Austrian Death Machine, remember that fucking man? Tim Lambesis, remember that fucking side project he did? Dark Angel, another giant band. Let's see here, just trying to pick out big names. Whiplash, they're kind of a lesser tier kind of thrash band. Violence, Rob Flynn's first band before Machine Head. Venom. Did a couple Toxic. They're a really cool band. Cool album covers too, actually. Sanctuary. I don't know. You've probably heard of them. Seattle thrash.
Maybe.
Nuclear Assault. I know you know who that is.
Yep.
Got a NoFX credit on here, actually.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. I'd be interested to know which one that was. But
S&M Airlines.
Yep. That's the takeoff. I believe it looks like Paul's Boutique. I believe it does.
It's just I'm looking at it. It's a plane and a chick in S&M gear is riding a plane.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Do you want me to pull it up?
No, hold on. I think I know what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, hold on. Yeah.
Those are like the biggest bands. Possessed. I don't know if I said them. But he's got a ton of different credits. Dude's still working, killing it, and his artwork is very recognizable. Like you see that art and you go, "Oh yeah, that's Ed Brepka."
Okay,
which I appreciate.
It's really interesting to me. So you see this, you see how fucking clean this is, and you see how like that pops and just everything's great with it, right? And then you see the NoFX S&M Airlines. Very, very different. It's dull. It doesn't pop the same way. Like there's not as much detail in it. Like I like this. This is mine. Also, you see this is so clean, just so beautiful, and then you just pop it over, and it's just four ugly dudes with long ass hair and yellow.
Come on.
I mean, okay, wow. Dave's all right.
Wow.
Ellefson is all right, but
okay.
No, okay. I think Nick might be my boyfriend in this band. Maybe. I think Nick might be the best looking guy in the band. I'm never a big Mustaine fan.
I mean, you always got to do the lead singer, but I would either go Ellefson or Marty.
Oh wow! Okay, Ellefson. I think Ellefson's the prettiest. I think Ellefson's the prettiest. He has because he kind of has like a feminine face a little bit.
All right, here we go. F, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
F, Marry, Kill. Megadeth members. Okay. That era.
All right. So knowing what I know now, okay.
Yes.
I'm going to marry Mustaine, even though it's gonna be a nightmare for many years, but eventually it all works out, maybe, hopefully. And he also still has some money. I
think him and his wife have been married forever. Like I think they've been married like over 20 years. So good props to him.
Perfect. Yeah, it's very rare in metal these days. So Kill. Well, Nick's already dead, right?
Yes.
All right, so I wouldn't be doing anything. I guess I'm fucking Ellefson. I guess I am. Like, I guess I am fucking Ellefson.
Wow.
And Morty kind of hangs out and just is like the cameraman.
We know Ellefson likes to party, so.
Hey, kick the man when he's down, okay? I met him at a Starbucks once. He's a nice man with his wife, actually. She took the picture with us.
That's real awkward now, in hindsight. Not that it's a normal thing, but it's awkward now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd probably say the same, honestly. gun to my head.
Yeah.
That's what I choose. Funny thing about Repka here, I'm just reading off because you were talking about NoFX. He's actually more of a punk guy. Like he listens to more
Okay.
punk. He doesn't like thrash or like death metal.
Wow.
So it's funny you said about the NoFX. Like looks way worse than the Megadeth record.
Yeah, it's a different taste. It's a different take on what he's doing there. But like I get it. But it to me, I honestly think Rust in Peace is one of my favorite album covers in general because it's just so clean looking. It's so clean. It's so well done. Like it has a story to it, I guess, in a certain sense, and you can already see what's going on.
Yeah.
And you don't really need to listen to the record necessarily to see what's going on, and like at least you get a gist of what the story is. So it's kind of
I mean, yeah, man, that album ties in basically with Hangar 18. Like that's kind of the video too. Yeah, they nailed the themes for sure. All right, I might have a Megadeth later. Spoiler alert.
All right.
I'm gonna go Scorpions. Love it for Sting.
I had a Scorpions record on there because I have that one too, but I had the other one, the Animal Magnetism, right?
No, you're probably thinking of Love Drive. You're thinking of one with the bubblegum?
Yes.
That's Love. Animal Magnetism is a different album cover. But yeah, Love It for Sting. This is their biggest record, Rocky Like a Hurricane. Obviously, a lot of classic tracks on here. I still love this album cover. I don't know if it's like 13-year-old me just still enjoying the album because you get a little side boob there. But just cool album cover, front and back, just same picture, just flipped over. Very just it's Scorpions, man. Like their album covers always get banned. But this one, this one got banned too, which is crazy because it's really not that bad. Yeah, like I said, I was just reading that. I was like, oh, it got banned.
Because Love Drive got banned because the boob in general. They were a big boob band, apparently, right? Like that's big over there in Germany.
Yeah. I guess this is what they use. The inner sleeve is what they use for the unbanned cover. I've never seen this before. According to Wiki, it's a Walmart complaint in the U.S. after the album was released, resulted in Polygram issuing a clean cover. So this would be interesting to find, actually, because it's in a Walmart variant.
Yeah.
So
I wonder. All right, keep talking. Hold on. Let's see.
But yeah, I've always dug this album cover, man. It just gets right to the point. This is Scorpions. This is this era Scorpions, I should say. And
that's true.
Yeah,
because they had that first run there in the 70s, and they were a very different. I don't want to say a different band, but they had a different sound to them for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, so this is a cassette. I'm trying to see if there's any vinyl out there. I'm just seeing cassette for that. Let me do this real quick. LP.
I would imagine there's a vinyl. I would imagine there's LP because
there you go. So
it can play it by
does
Walmart.
exist.
Okay.
You can get it. It looks like last sold in July for $18. Yeah, it's the alternate with the band facing photo instead of the couple embracing. So it's out there. We just never seen it, I guess.
Oh, excuse me. I'm literally looking at it right now on Wiki. I didn't even realize it. They also have it. It's the alternate clean cover. But yeah, I showed it. It's just the inner sleeve picture of the band. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that. And it'd be kind of interesting because from what Wiki's saying, it was only in Walmart.
Interesting.
That
makes sense though, because they're the ones that complained about a lot of things. There's the reason why, not a reason why, but they were a somewhat of a big, obviously, proponent for the parental advisory stickers and stuff, or whatever, and the edited CDs and stuff. It was a major Walmart thing. Which I had a friend that had the edited Take Off Your Pants and Jacket record, Blink-182, and that just fucking sucked. It was bruh. Let's just not listen to this. It's not a big deal. We just don't have to. We can just have silence. Like, fuck this. This shit sucks. Yeah. I'd rather just listen to silence.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fucking awesome. I do love that cover, and Scorpions always do have sick ass fucking album covers for sure.
Did you pull Love Drive?
I did not pull Love Drive. I debated it because I have both. I have that one. I have Love Drive too, and I have have a couple of Scorpions records too. That I acquired over the years. Mostly because of the band. The band, like the Love Drive record, that was the one that I was I think we got it at Steve's way back when.
Okay.
And yeah, for like $10 or something. I have no idea. It's not the greatest condition, but take what you can get.
Yeah, I have the band version. It's just a scorpion on the cover. It's pretty awful.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I remember that. Yeah.
So.
All right. So one that I actually do like have a lot of legitimate love for, and it's one of my favorite records of all time, and my favorite album covers of all time.
Nice.
So, I'm a massive Jimmy Eat World fan. Love Jimmy Eat World. They're one of my favorite bands ever. And my favorite record that they ever did is a record called Futures. And I love this record. Just top to bottom, just all the songs. Like I will never ever not love this record. But the album cover by itself, I've noticed that I like a lot of like isolation covers. When I started pulling stuff out, I was like, I like depressing, weird isolation covers, like fucking Momentary Lapse. He's just sitting alone on the beach with a million hospital beds around him. This guy's outside of the phone booth. So this picture was taken at Burning Man in like 2002, I think it was 2001, 2002. So this so Burning Man's a festival in the middle of the desert. It's a music festival, and like you have weird, crazy like inventions and stuff, and like land walkers and whatever, and a lot of fire and stuff and whatever. LSD and other things for sure. And I guess these days supposedly it's not great and it's not fun to go to if you're like into like the old way that it used to be. It's not like that anymore. And I just see like every year because there's a lot of bicycles that get left out there, like thousands of bicycles. So like whenever Burning Man's over for the last few years, I've seen just pictures of the semi trucks filled to the brim. So out here in Arizona, you'll see a lot of big trucks filled with stuff they're taking down to Mexico to sell. That's what it is. It looks the exact same way, but it's only bicycles.
Wow.
And it's like an entire semi tractor trailers full of them. It's crazy. So taking out Burning Man, and actually right here, I guess you can't see it, but it says "Talk to God" right here. And in this time, I don't think this exists anymore every year. I don't think it's a thing every year. I have no idea. But you walked inside of the phone booth, and you picked the phone up, and the phone connected to somebody. Ooh. And you could talk to somebody at the festival and like talk to God kind of thing. But super gnarly. The band doesn't know who the guy is, doesn't know anything like that, but they just saw the photo and they're like, I like that a lot, and they want that to be, I guess, the album cover. But this album is kind of depressing. Obviously, Jimmy World's emo band. So, but I just love that. I love just the entire aesthetic of it. I did forever think this was Phoenix. I just thought it was Phoenix in the background, but it's not. It's Burning Man. So whatever. But I actually have the promo poster for this as well from the album store or the in-stores they gave to record shops, and I have that in my bedroom on the wall. It's a massive banner album cover of just basically just this right here, like, or the boom, boom, and just the phone booth and the guy. But super sick. I love it.
I dig that pressing. Like, I like the because the phone booth's all shiny.
Yeah, they glossed it up. So yeah, that's not how the original is. So I have the original pressing too. This is the SRC Hi-Fi pressing from like 2014. So I have the original pressing too. Something that's super sick about the original pressing though of this record that's not on this one is on the D side, because it's double LP. So on the D side, it's an etching of the it's not on here, but of the Jimmy World like a world logo. It's an entire huge etching of it. It's actually pretty sick.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
very
fucking
cool.
Awesome. Jimmy World Futures, love it. If you're into emo, that's something that you should definitely always check out.
All right, let's go. All right, another one's kind of an honorable, but had to have it. Venom, Welcome to Hell. The reason I'm putting this in there is it's so simplistic, but you understand what the fuck is going on.
Absolutely.
When you buy this record, you should have an understanding of what you're getting into. And honestly, like Venom is kind of tongue in cheek, and it's less like it's scary now because there's much heavier bands now.
Yeah.
But back in the day, like this looked like the heaviest thing in the world, and
100%.
because it was.
Yeah.
Got the guys in the back there. But yeah, you know what you're getting into. You got the goat, you got the pentagram. I've always loved the Venom logo too. Like it's very 70s, but heavy too.
Yeah.
Like Black Sabbath's logo, especially the Ozzy era stuff, like it always just kind of looked goofy to me. Like the big puffy letters, like it looks hippie-ish.
Yeah.
This kind of has that same vibe, but it's very heavy, for lack of a better word. But yeah, Welcome to Hell. This is their first album. Absolutely love it. This comes with a gatefold. This is the Back on Black pressing.
Hell yeah.
Great.
That's a big T-shirt record too. I've seen a lot of T-shirts with the first Venom cover on there.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, there's that famous. I think Varg is wearing this T-shirt in one of the famous videos, like when he's at trial or some shit. Right. Yeah, so there you go. Right, because he was later. He's like, I hated Venom. Whatever. I was like, okay, whatever, bro. So
why? Just you want to do too cool for school or what?
I guess I have no idea. Who cares? But yeah, Welcome to Hell, Venom, awesome album. Love the album artwork. Just very simplistic, straight to the point. You know what you're getting into. And then really quick, just to show what it's on. Kind of like a clear brown, which is pretty cool because it matches. That just looks clear on the camera.
Yeah, it does. There's a brown tinge to it.
Yeah, there's like a brown tinge, which kind of matches the whole vibe, aesthetic. Exactly.
Aesthetic,
get it right. Get it right.
Yeah. Please. Or you get blown the fuck up. You don't get that shit right.
So I appreciate that. So there you go. Venom, Welcome to Hell.
Yeah. Also, real quick, did you know that there's a thing? So we've apparently been doing social media wrong, which we both have known that for going on 15 years, obviously. Mm-hmm. But did you know there's a big thing with people to get things wrong in their TikToks or their Instagrams or some shit, whatever the fuck? They say something blatantly wrong because they know they're gonna get engagement for it, and it's gonna be something so stupid. It's like, that's not what it is. And like just that whole thing. That's the reason why they do it, and just to get their shit boosted.
It's very smart.
Yeah, it's very smart. Yeah. But I don't want to look like a fucking idiot. Like I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to say something so blatantly I said a lot of things that are wrong. Probably just doing this for 5 or 6 weeks now, whatever it is. 5 weeks, but
4.
So 4 weeks. Okay, either way, I'm sure I've said a lot of things that are wrong. But I don't want to do it on purpose just so I can get a bunch of fucking people just calling me out, like saying that's not what it is. Well, how could you say that? You're fucking stupid. Like I don't need 1,000 comments of that personally, just to get my video watched more than fucking a couple 100 times or something if I'm lucky.
I didn't know that, but yeah, that's a good marketing tactic. But I agree with you. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that's supposedly that's what certain politicians of some kind, when they misspell things, when they say certain things wrong or some shit on their social medias, it's methods of the madness, supposedly correct. So,
well, I wouldn't imagine that is even just a politician thing. Like you just said, it's TikTok, and it's probably celebrities too.
100%.
I guarantee that's like a Twitter thing. I 100%.
I just know that there are a handful of politicians that misspell or have something wrong in tweets all the time, and then Twitter spends the next fucking 10 hours just trying to dunk on them, and it's just that their name just trends forever, and it just shows up there and whatever the fuck. So I'm just like, the people could be fucking idiots, whatever, maybe they are, but I would love to believe there are methods to the madness here, and they're doing it for a fucking reason or for effect, but who knows? But didn't know that, so maybe we need to start saying some more random, crazy, weird shit, and see if we can get fan bases to really lash out at us and really hate us and like say, hey man, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah, because if there's any like if it, there's any fan bases that you want coming after you, it's like weirdo vinyl, metal, like any type of music, really,
Yeah,
like that like requires investment. Like those are the fan
yeah,
bases you definitely want coming after you.
yeah. I mean, sure. Those ones I want to.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
So there's that. Okay, so I got a handful. I got a good handful and a half here more. So another one that I love. Another one from my youth. My favorite band of all time. Give or take on whatever day you ask me, whatever the fuck.
all right.
But a little band called Blink 182 with a record called Anima of the State.
Mm-hmm.
So this album cover, obviously, to an 8-year-old boy, is a very big deal. Like, I didn't even know what I liked about the album cover, but I knew I liked it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
liked it. And so, anyway, so it's Janine.
Linda Muller or whatever.
There you go. That's her name. So she was formerly married to one Jesse James way back when.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
and
yeah.
then she got all Nazi'd up, and he got all Nazi'd up or some shit, and then that's the whole thing. I don't know.
I don't think she. I don't think she did that. She would never do that.
You know, she would never. A porn star would never.
No.
Never. They're smart people.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's all tattooed up like in a bad way now. I want to say like it's just too much.
She's got like I think I watched that when Porn Ends or whatever, that doc on Netflix 8 years ago or whatever, and yeah, she's got like full sleeves.
But like
she's got Randy Orton arms.
Yeah, just gray arms, man. Like she's got blue there, but whatever.
Yeah,
yeah, it's unfortunate, really. But yeah, I love this record. This is my first like real Blink record to ever like experience as a fan. Like I had Dude Ranch, but I picked it up like right before this, and then this is the first record that I was ever actually able to take in because this is my era, whatever, coming into the band. So I love Blink 182. I love this record. The first version of this, fun story if you want to go look at the CDs, the first version of this had the Red Cross on the hat.
Oh, wow.
And then the Red Cross said, hey, don't do that. And they pulled it. Red Cross said, and so they pulled it. They had to airbrush it out.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it's a back cover. Literally, what's so crazy is like I remember being 8 years old and I only had 3 CDs, right? It was this, it was Dude Ranch, it was Americana, and it was like a Sawyer Brown CD.
Man.
And so like those were my CDs, right? And this is the coolest one that I had. And I just remember looking at these pictures for fucking ever. Like just listening to the CD, just looking at them, just trying to figure out what's going on. And then also in the pull out what am I trying to say here? The artwork in the CD, the pull out,
the liner notes,
there you
booklet,
go, sure.
the booklet,
there you go, the booklet had all this, and so this was a big long booklet for all this in here, and it's all the guys in underwear and everything else or whatever. So there's all that, but I love this album cover. It's iconic, especially for pop punk or whatever. Just could never get over it, and they still do T-shirts of it. With her, but like animated and stuff or whatever. There's a lot of that stuff out there, and this has been repressed a good handful and a half of times by now. This is the also the SRC Hi-Fi series. They did all the Blink records, and I bought most of them. I don't think I have Neighborhoods, and I don't think I have. I don't think I bought Take Our Pants and Jacket, but I bought that from them previously. Also, massive booklet. Forgot about that, and then
nice.
This has all the same stuff in there.
Yeah.
Whatever. So super sick. I always love it. So Blink 182, Enema of the State, deserving spot on the best or my favorite artwork of all time.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree. Iconic. Yeah, if you grew up in the 90s or late 90s adjacent early 2000s, like that's an iconic cover. Yeah. Even if you weren't into rock or guitar driven music. And I probably listened to that record probably more times than a lot of, like, if I wish, we always talk about that. We wish we had that odometer in our brain. I've probably heard that record more times than most records. It's probably like a top
Yeah.
10 most listened to record in my life. Obviously, I
Yeah.
had 2 older brothers too, which contributed to that.
And you
so.
you listened to it all the time like 3 years ago. Like
I still listen to it.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's still going for you, and I still listen to it quite a bit myself. But definitely not as much as I used to, but it's still definitely in rotation.
Yeah, I still absolutely love the record, and is a great album cover, iconic. That is for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't think of anything else from that era that would kind of would compare to that in like pop punk scene, wherever it's almost.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, moving on. Let's go with a little Blue Oyster Cult with Agents of Fortune.
Cover.
Yeah, me too, man. I just always loved it. Like it matches the vibe of the album. Yeah, it's creepy. Their album covers are kind of hit or miss. Like they have like their black and white phase, which I don't really like.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love this record. Obviously, it's Don't Fear the Reaper on it, so iconic. Iconic album. I mean, they have a lot of kick-ass records. They're a band that I've been dabbling and trying to get into more.
Yeah.
And got the Gatefold, got the guys on there, all attractive men.
Yeah. Just across the world.
Oh yeah. What just iconic album cover, man. I always just thought like it fits Agents of Fortune, like this fits everything. Like, you know, when I hear Don't Fear the Reaper, like I think of this album cover. You know.
Are those tarot cards or are they playing cards?
They look like tarot cards.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of the point. Agents of Fortune, like I think it's kind of a fortune teller.
Fair.
Yeah. And you got the pyramid on the back with Saturn. Like there's something going on there. Who knows? Some Illuminati shit going on there. So
or a 14-year-old girl that's super into astrology right now can explain exactly what's going on with that.
Yes. Yeah, there's TikToks too that are massive. Yeah. Like they'll do the lottery numbers and shit. It's like dear Lord. But yeah, Blue Oyster Cult.
That record's out there a lot more than you would think it is, because that's the record for me. I mean, obviously probably for their fans of a bunch of records, but that's the record for me. And I see that record, at least I used to, maybe because I don't look for it anymore necessarily, but I used to see that record all the time, which is pretty impressive because that is the record. So
I mean, I every time I'm in the record shop, I always look in the Blue Oyster Cult section to see what's in, and I've only seen this a handful of times in recent. They're a band that gets bought now. And this is a really clean pressing, so that's why I scooped it up. But this and Fire of Unknown Origin, that's the other big record that was early mid-ish 80s. That's what the hell's the name? Burning for You. That's the big single on that record. But yeah.
Do you think that BOC loves, modern day BOC loves, love comes from Ghost becoming a thing?
Wow, I don't know. Maybe very similar sounds.
Is that why your kid brother buys it? You think, or got into it because Ghost got huge and that was the same sound ish?
I honestly think though it's more of a horror thing. Okay. Like honestly, like it's in like Don't Fear the Reaper's in horror movies like quite a bit. It's just in the newest Halloween. I think that kind of comes from it. So I think like the goth girls get into it.
We all love the goth girls.
I mean, we do.
Yeah.
And we celebrate that. It's revered in this house.
Truly it is. I'm married to a goth girl, so there you go.
Goth adjacent.
Okay, fair. She doesn't claim straight goth. What the hell?
She dabbles in it. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair assessment, I guess. I never thought about the horror angle on it.
Also, I think, speaks from Anna's perspective, him had the Don't Fear the Reaper cover.
Wow, I've never heard that.
Yeah, it's on Love Songs, like 666. Yeah, I think that's a greatest hits record. I think it's on that. It's probably on another record too.
That makes sense.
Hate me, but
yeah, you guys are going to that show, right? In March?
I don't know if I'm gonna go.
You're gonna go.
I'm pretty sure she is going.
You're gonna go.
I think it's her and I think it's her and Kirsten. I think it's kind of their jam.
Well, I want to go too. So
you want to go?
Yeah, I want to go. I want to go hear that song.
The Don't Fear the Reaper cover?
No. What's the hint?
Heartache Every Moment or whatever?
No, it's go wake your wife up real quick. Just ask.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
It's no.
That's Heartache Every Moment, I think.
No, it's not the name of the song. It can't be. That's not the fucking name of the song. I think it might be Heartache. Hold on now. We're just getting way too off kilter here. So it's gonna be Killing Loneliness.
Oh, okay.
That's the.
I don't know if he's gonna play any hymn shit. Like, I don't know.
It's the same logo.
She went to the last tour, and like the farewell tour. So I don't know. Like, he's coming out with a record and shit. So it might be he's not gonna play any of that stuff. I don't know.
Okay, you play the fucking hits, homie, and you play your fucking solo shit. Play the fucking hits, okay? You don't play Killing Loneliness. I'm fucking leaving, homie. That might be a closer. That might be the encore is Killing Loneliness. But you gotta play that shit. Find that fucking dog. You
gotta get your ass out there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I agree with you, but you don't know. You never know with people. They might just be like, I'm gonna play my solo shit, and everybody's gonna hate it.
If Tom DeLonge can go out there with an acoustic guitar, drunk as fuck, and stumble his ass way through playing Down and There Is and shit from his other bands, fucking Billy Vallow or Billy Vallow? Yeah. He can fucking go out there and play the handful of fucking hymn songs that we in America know, okay?
He probably will.
Thank you.
He probably will. Please. But I think, to answer your question, maybe a little bit of Ghost. I think that has a lot to do with it too, because I know that was a big cover, that Don't Fear the Reaper cover. Also, they did Wicked Game. That's another big cover of theirs. We did cover songs last episode. Check it out if you want to dabble into that stuff.
Now.
Yeah. But I think that has a lot to do with it in the horror stuff. Like, I think they tie in well. They tie in well with all that shit. Like, their lyrics are horror adjacent. They got the astrology shit. They got imagery, aesthetic. It's all ties in. Like, it resonates with today's culture. Like Blue Oyster Cult, way ahead of their time.
Yeah, 1978 is today.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah, I've been saying for years.
What you got?
All right, so this is one of. I say it's my favorite record of all time. Like, I do say that quite often, and I don't think I'm lying when I say it. But this, I'll claim it. This is my favorite record of all time.
We're gonna do these episodes eventually, and they better match up.
Oh, sick! Yeah, well, they will.
All right.
So it's a band called Midtown. Forget What You Know. So I love this too, because again, I love the desolate isolation covers. I love that too, just depressing shit. So I love this record. This record's an emo alternative, I guess. Record's their last record they ever did. Before they broke up. I actually just framed up today. I forgot I had. I found a frame at Goodwill like a week or two ago, and I've been itching to put it up. And I had an 11x17 flyer for this record, signed by the band that I bought, because I bought a hoodie, and I think their label was just trying to get rid of stock of shit, and they found a stack of signed 11x17 promo, fucking flyers or whatever, right? For this record, and it doesn't look like this at all, which sucks. I wish it did, but it's way too colorful and weird. But whatever. But I framed up today. But anyway, so Forget What You Know, love this record, my favorite record of all time, I think. And I love the covers because it's very depressing. It's a guy it's obviously a lonely guy in his apartment with his TV on his fucking table. That's all he's got, man. All he's got in the world. And it's kind of what it is. In the back is just the same, but the guy is not there. He's probably dead. But it's the same. So it's good stuff. And the band right there looking all, So Midtown, they were from New Jersey. They're an emo band, an emo pop punk band early on. This is the only record really that sounds like this. Their other records are fine, they're good, like whatever. Like, I like the songs on the record, but this is the only record of theirs that I would actually go to the wall for. Like, I love this fucking record. Like it's just perfect. And then I think I have like 4 copies of this record because they didn't have hype stickers on the record yet. So this is the last copy I bought, which is good because it's one I needed. So they didn't have hype stickers on the records to show you what copy you were getting. So I have 4 copies of this, and I bought 3 of them, and all 3 of them, the first ones are on the white variant, and then I found this at Zia in Tempe maybe like 6 months ago. This is the other one with the clear and green. So I was stoked to find this finally after this has been out there floating around for maybe 3 years now at some point. But I just bought multiple copies of the white, just thinking it was this version, and it wasn't. So finally cracked it and finally found it. So
nice.
Yeah, Midtown, for you know, I just love it. It's very depressing. Again, isolation, lonely. That's my fucking cup of tea there. So there you go.
we never did the TV in the kitchen. We never had that luxury.
No, we also ate in our rooms. So like the TV was where TV was right there because we ate in rooms.
Yeah.
But never did that one really.
Gotcha.
That was I actually like, so in my brain, I know this is not true, but I kind of associate that with like rich people. Like they had the little mini like kitchen TV, and like I feel like that was a thing in like the late 90s, like where like housewives, homemakers just had the little tiny TV, and then in movies it would show like Emerald was on the little tiny TV, like showing you how to cook and shit. Like that was another thing that obviously we at the Naylor house didn't really have a direct relation to necessarily. So but never did that either.
Yeah, we never had that luxury. I don't know. This never branched out. We had the TV. We did do a big TV and then a small TV on top of the big TV before. Yeah. But we never had the TV in the kitchen. So
every grandparent that I had, both grandparents did it, and then also we did it too. So we had
the big TV with the small TV.
Because the big screen breaks, and the old big screens were furniture. So like it was a shelf at that point. So you just put the TV on top of that, and you just look up now. You strain your fucking neck. That's all it is now.
100%. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go back to like some paintings here. I'm going with King Diamond, Abigail.
There you go. I was waiting for King Diamond shit.
This is my favorite King Diamond record. This and Them, like 1A, 1B. Them is also a really cool album cover, but I just wanted to pull one for the band. But yeah, just love the painting. Just if you know the story of the album and the tale that King tells on this album, it very much fits the aesthetic and vibe of this record and the concept that King portrays. Always dug this album cover, and King has a lot of cool album covers, but this is
a lot of cool album covers.
Always my favorite. And you got the band on the back, looking all good. Got Mickey D from Motorhead.
Oh, Motorhead, yeah.
Yeah, so we've seen him.
I didn't know he was in King Diamond or whatever.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I'm almost positive Timmy passed away, Timmy Hansen, but Andy LaRock, he's still in King Diamond. He's a kick-ass guitar player.
What's keep going, I'm sorry.
Like if you're into guitar, King's kind of hard to get into because you can get the vocals first, and it's kind of hard to get over the falsetto. But like if you can get hooked on the licks and the riffs, that's where you start, and then you just kind of learn to appreciate King. And then once you start getting into the stories and like the story, because every King record's a concept record, and he's a big horror guy. So once you get into the stories of the records, like it all ties together at that point. So, but yeah, go ahead. What were you going to ask?
What's the record about the church? Like the church abuse.
Oh shit.
Is that
I know what you're talking about. Hold on.
Yeah. Because I saw an interview with King talking about it, and he was it's a very heavy topic, whatever, right? And it's all real.
Yeah, it's all about the Catholic Church. Oh fuck! It's a later record, actually.
Yeah. It was a newer interview.
Hold on. Yeah, I need the band, not the man.
The man is the band.
House of God. That's the name of the record.
Makes sense.
Almost positive. Yeah.
Yeah.
That album cover. Yeah, he's got a lot of cool album covers. Honestly, they get kind of bad in the 90s, just like every other band. But yeah,
that is.
Fatal Portrait. Why do I think that is? Just because of
Why do you
money?
do it this time?
Money?
No one had money. 90s was all the money.
For King Diamond?
Okay, maybe not King Diamond. Maybe not King didn't have the money like that, you know.
Well, and also CG, obviously. Photoshop, all that shit.
House of God is not a great.
No.
Like, but it's not bad, but it's not. Like,
he's got worse. Like, the Graveyard's just a picture of a cross. Spider's Lullaby kind of sucks. Voodoo.
I like Conspiracy the most because it's just his fucking face.
See, I don't like Conspiracy is an awesome record, but I don't like the album cover. Wow. The eyes pretty cool. Fatal Portrait, Abigail's End. Those are the best album covers. Yeah. Fatal Portrait's very cool because it's basically the third Merciful Fate album.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a lot of that stuff you could tell was supposed to be on the Merciful Fate record.
Yeah, Voodoo's a cool record cover too. Like
yeah, that's pretty cool. Very cool album too. Like it's kind of very like Pantera like inspired. It's very sludgy kind of, and that's kind of the vibe of the record, like New Orleans, like that type of stuff. Yeah. So anyway, that's the King Diamond tangent. So what you got?
Yeah, there you go. All right, so I don't know what numbers we're kind of just keeping going there, but another one that I have here. So again, my isolation lonely records. So I'm gonna do another one. This is going to be another one of my favorite albums of all time that I've seen performed multiple times now, and I just can never get over it. Armor for Sleep, What to Do When You're Dead. It's a concept record all about killing yourself after a relationship ends or whatever. And I actually, when I was a kid, wanted to get this silhouette tattooed on my back of my leg. I always thought it was just super sick. I was like, that's going to be an awesome tattoo.
Just a silhouette of the guy?
Yeah, the guy floating. Yeah.
But if it's a silhouette, like it just looks like a guy.
Yeah.
It just looks like a headless guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
And then, so 2005, emo, concept record about, like I said, about suicide, killing yourself. Car Underwater is the big song of this record. The whole record is top to bottom fucking perfect. They've done a 10-year and a 15-year playthrough. This is the 10-year vinyl release. I went and got this in Pomona, California at the show. And just fucking sick. They just had a new record come out. Actually, they got back together after being broken up for probably almost 11 years nearly.
Oh, wow.
And did a new record. New record's cool too. It's not as impactful for me as this one is, because this one I'm 15 years old going through high school, right? So that's what this is. But I always just love this because it's all him floating up to heaven, basically, and or whatever, and whatever your belief is. And so it's just it shows the neighborhood, obviously, and then the record goes through. It's super cool. The record goes through 5 stages of grief, and actually that's what this is. So it has a booklet that comes with it. And it has the 5 stages of grief. And it's a comprehensive guide to the afterlife. And it shows you like do's and don'ts, like don't go into the light, know your surroundings, everything else. And it just is super, super sick. And it kind of goes through that. And then obviously the last is acceptance. And then you move on to the higher plane or whatever the hell you want to say. I don't know. But that was super cool. And then also it's perfect.
Nice.
Perfect variant and aesthetic pressing there. So there's that. But Armor for Sleep, What to Do When You Are Dead. Very, very cool. Again, one of my favorite records of all time. We'll never get over it. And every 5 years when they play it again, we'll go to the show and watch them play it again, front to top to bottom, front to back. So there's that.
Is that a photograph? Are there photographs on there?
So I think so. Obviously it's photoshopped, whatever. But yeah, I think they're just separate photographs. They just
okay.
Just post on top of each other. But I always love the colors. The colors are always super cool with the green and the blues and stuff. I just thought it was super cool, and I was obsessed with it when I was a kid. And once it came out on vinyl, finally, I had to pick it up. So
knew he had to have it.
I had to have it. What's wrong with these guys?
All right, well, I'm almost done. I got a few more. Let's go with my Megadeth choice. the record before Tyler's Choice, Peace Sells. But who's buying? I love the album cover. You got the United Nations building just blown apart in the background. Another Repka classic. You got Vic there. Vic being a realtor, trying to sell peace, I guess. Trying to sell the United Nations building, I guess. Absolutely love this album. Love the album cover. Rust in Peace is my favorite Megadeth record, but this is probably my favorite Megadeth album. I love the kind of the pinkish, reddish hues. Classic. And anytime anybody gets pissed about Megadeth being political, I always just think, well, they have a fucking record with the United Nations building. This is their second album. Blown apart.
The president's fucking characterized on one of the records. Like, their biggest records are literally cornerstone with political policy.
Yeah, so, it always aggravates me. Got the guys. They look like a fucking glam band on the back of it.
What's his name? What's his Igor? Who the fuck is the ugly African fucker?
Igor? Oh, you got Chris Poland is the other guitar player, and Gars is the drummer.
Yeah, fucking that's the heroin addict guy that would sell the shit, right?
That's Gars. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That was always my favorite thing with finding old Dave Mustaine interviews. He just starts shooting on the guys. He's like, "Why get rid of him? Because every time we go to a state, go to a new place, he go and pawn all the shit. It was not his. He didn't care because it was my stuff. He knew it. And, he started shooting on all the guys."
Yeah, I saw an actual post on Reddit. It was a Twitter post of his from a few years ago, but it's him just ranking the guitar players, which is pretty interesting. He just ranks his favorite Megadeth guitar players, all 10 of them or whatever. So
interesting. Who was his top?
His top was Kiko, the current guy. So I don't know if that was just playing politics or what.
Yeah. You're not gonna wax on about how in prior year 3 lineups ago, fucking it was much better. You're not gonna do that.
Yeah, I hope not. But yeah, Peace Sells, but who's buying? Classic album cover.
So, what's funny about that? Not funny, I guess. But so Peace Sells, but who's buying was a news headline, right? Or a Reader's Digest headline.
No, he got Megadeth from Reader's Digest.
Okay.
I think he got Peace Sells. I think it was from another article or something from a newspaper or something.
And then Rust in Peace was from a bumper sticker, let your nukes rust in peace. That was the tagline. So, where did Killing Is My Business come from? Is Dave basically letting some power find him with these album covers? Are they just?
He does that a lot. He does do that a lot. Shit that he sees in the news or articles that he reads or stuff like that. Actually, it's kind of interesting. On the new record, there's a writing credit to one of his doctors when he was going through cancer treatment. Because I think I'm almost positive the records or the song is about that type of stuff. So he went to him what should I put in the song? And the guy gave him stuff. So that dude has a writing credit on a fucking Megadeth album. So yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff. I don't know what Killing Is My Business. Maybe it stems from the Metallica breakup. I don't know. He also does quite a bit. I think I know of 3 records: the new record, this record, and Killing. Also, So Far So Good So What. He does the ... a lot on the album covers.
Okay, fair. Also,
or the album titles.
For Closure of a Dream, another one that was an article, and then Euthanasia.
I don't think it was really an article. That was more just so about Bush and tax cuts and shit, and the farmers and shit, getting their farms foreclosed on and shit.
But I thought that was because I could be lying to you. You're much more happened than I am.
Are you saying the song title is from that?
Yeah, because I thought he had that song title because I thought he saw it in an article or whatever it was or a special or something or other, and then he saved it in his head. He was like, "That's fucking. I like that a lot."
Maybe
he wrote the song or whatever and did
gotcha.
It.
Sounds like a headline.
Yeah, he just does that. Like you said, he does it a lot. It's interesting. That's the way he lets it find him, and then he fucking writes around it sometimes, or vice versa. But super sick.
Yep.
Megadeth and that cover. Always I'm a big colors guy, as are you. If you have really cool color play with your album, I'm always gonna look at that. It's gonna attract me immediately. And the more honestly, the more pretty it is, and just like interesting, I'm always gonna look at it. Then it'll be much better for me than it's just like a black and white cover, obviously, or whatever.
Yeah,
Typically,
agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But that's awesome. Like, yeah, Megadeth, always good covers. So there's that. Another one I have here. So we're getting down here, but I'll get. So my first record that I ever experienced with this band, it's one of my favorite bands of all time. The first one I was ever experienced as a fan. Very basic, but Nine Inch Nails with Teeth. This is my favorite. I think we already talked about this. I think this is my favorite Nine Inch Nails record, just because I did did go through it. I was hyped for it. I saw it come out. Like, I remember seeing it. I bought it at Tower Records. Like, it was a big deal. And I just love this because so the original title of the record was Bleeding Through, I believe it was.
Oh.
And so it just shows like the ink coming through, and it's the new digitalized logo. And actually, again, as a youth, I thought this would be a very cool logo to get on the back of my neck.
Yeah,
that
barcode.
Was the placement I was going to do. Yeah, exactly. That was literally the barcode. I thought was badass, and this is the semblance of that. But I always really liked the plus the color with it is like I don't know, it's a teal. I don't know, like it's a blue, green kind of thing.
Yeah. Kind of looks like a window. Is that the vibe that's going for?
I don't know about a window, but I can see you saying that for sure. I can see that.
Looks like a window, like a fogged up window, like to me. But
that's that. I could see that. I can very easily see that. You're right. And this is the definitive version that came out a few years ago. So the glitch art with that's done by Rob Sheridan. He was the art director for Nine Inch Nails since 1998 until like 2015 or 16. And so they have a new art director now, which I just recently found that out. Because I know Rob, he didn't quit, they didn't have a fight or anything, he just left. He still does stuff for the band or whatever, but like he's not the art director anymore. So they have a new art director that is doing new designs for him and stuff, which again I didn't know that existed until just like 2 days ago. I read that. And so it's a different vibe these days with the band, which is still super cool, but whatever. But this era with the glitch art, this is what Rob Sheridan does. Like a lot of it, he just still does a lot of artwork today. I follow him on Instagram and Twitter and stuff, and a lot of his artwork is of the glitch art kind of stuff. And he takes I guess he pioneered. I guess he's a big deal in that scene. For that certain people, he's a big deal. He would take VHS tapes and he would stop them, and then he would freeze them, and then he would do some he would edit it and whatever the fuck. But it's super weird. But he was like one of the first ones to ever do that and incorporate the VHS glitch freeze frame and stuff into artwork or whatever. But that's what he did here, and that's what he did for the next almost 20 years. But yeah, super sick. But I just love, very simplistic, but just very cool too. This is the first record that Trent was sober on. It was a big deal, and it was a big comeback record. And for my money, every fucking track on this thing is a heavy hitter. Love it. If they ever did, they're not that band. But if they ever did a tour for this record, would go to multiple dates. Just fucking great. Love this record. But Nine Inch Nails with Teeth.
Yeah, good choice. It's unexpected. I remember that record dropping too, and obviously you're way more into them than that record than me. But yeah, I remember the hand that feeds, like that. I remember that dropped, and KUPD played the hell out of that song. They don't play it anymore. They only play the same 2 Nine Inch Nails songs now.
Was it Closer
and Closer and Head Like a Hole? Something will come on. They edited Closer, obviously. So. Yeah, it's.
They're not doing the unedited version on terrestrial radio here in Phoenix.
No, they aren't actually.
Shit, what a thought for sure.
They haven't
dialing up them.
They haven't pulled that yet. So, all right, I got one more, and then I'm gonna get to my final 2 that are like actually in order, like my 2 favorite probably album covers ever. So we're going Blind Guardian, more German power metal. This is Somewhere Far Beyond. Probably my favorite Blind Guardian album. Really, really classic. Just love the painting, obviously. Power metal has a lot of great album covers because it lends itself to that. What you're getting into here. This is very sword and sorcery, Dungeons and Dragons-y. You understand like what you're what your bargain is when you when you put this record on. Great gatefold too.
Wow.
Very cool. Got the mountain guys on the mountain hanging out. And one of the big songs on here that they play live all the time is the Bard song, particularly in Bard song in the forest. And I always just love this album cover because you got the Bard playing to the guys resting around the fire, and that's like one of their biggest songs, big sing-along song. Like they don't even sing it. Like it's crazy when you watch when they headline Wacken. They headline Wacken all the time because they're a big German band and German metal fest, and like they don't even sing the song. Like the crowd just sings the whole goddamn song, which is
awesome.
pretty powerful. Great album. If you're want to get into like German power metal, like this is one of those foundational records for sure. Somewhere Far Beyond by Blind Guardian. There you go.
That's awesome. Yeah, again, you're super lucky here with all the metal shit because everything is just so fucking cool.
Yeah,
like, the artwork is just such a big deal.
I also love I just love hand painted stuff too. So I don't know, good synergy there.
I'm with it. So another one of my favorite records of all time, and favorite album covers of all time too. But so this guy, I'm called "Born to Run" by one Bruce Springsteen. So it's Bruce there, and then open it up. He's leaning on Clarence, his best friend and saxophone player. I just love this because it's 75 and still kind of weird for a skinny weird white boy to be in a band with a massive black dude playing sax. And so he wrote entire songs about that, the dynamic really. And it's super cool. Like I love this because like it gets a little sketchy here, but there's so many details in this record that you don't really get in the original artwork because it kind of gets whatever. But right here, so there's a fiddler kind of thing going on here in like a shadows in an alleyway. You can't really see it because it's whatever, but the refinished, like touched up pictures, you can see everything a lot better, obviously.
Gotcha.
There's an Elvis pin right here.
Oh.
And then what else? And obviously this torn up shirt and everything. Just looking super sick. I love this album cover a lot just because it's very, very simple, but it's just so clean. And then also like the fact that this has been spoofed by more than a handful of people over the years and bands that have spoofed the exact album cover. Like that's one thing I do want to like consciously get at some point. I want to get all of the spoof covers because there's a Cheap Trick cover. I have the Sesame Street cover, the Born to Add record. I have that one already. And then there's a couple other ones. I think there's like a Joe Piscopo comedy record possibly, and some other ones too. But I want to get those at some point and then have them put up on a wall together or something. I'm not sure. Just to have another subset in the collection of stupid, useless shit I have to spend money on and waste it. But super cool. Also, this particular one, I think you were with me because this might have been the same trip that we got the Sinead O'Connor on. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
It was at a record fair, and so when this record is the first pressing of this record, and the way that you know that is on the back here, John Landau's name is misspelled. It's supposed to be Jon, not John.
Gotcha.
So what they would do is they went ahead and they immediately recalled the record and they put a sticker over this and with the correct spelling of Jon. And that's what they did, is put a sticker over it. So this was non-sticked. This was never sticked. And the other ones, when you get the sticker, you have the remnants, and you can see basically because the white turns yellow, and you can see the outline of the sticker and stuff. I have a couple of those too. But this is the only one. This is really, really clean copy of this. The record's perfect in this one too, and just like I said, no stick on it. So somebody bought this almost immediately when it came out, and just kept it really nice. And I'm super stoked. I think I bought this for like $3 or $4 because the guy selling it just thought it was another copy of Born to Run, which was cool. Not that this is worth a shitload of money, but it's worth a little bit more than $3 or $4. So
yeah,
fucking it. But Born to Run, Bruce Springsteen, love it, super sick. Like I was actually afraid, like this is so nice that I was actually afraid to open this all the way because it's gonna crack it. Yeah, like this has never really been used, but super sick, love it.
Yeah, very cool. I imagine there's not a ton of those floating around because I imagine they recalled them pretty quick. So
Pretty quick, yeah, because I see the sticker cover I see the corrected and the sticker cover a hell of a lot more than ever see. I've never seen that before ever. So the only time I saw it, I bought it. So every other one I
gotcha.
ever see that has a sticker on it, it looks like shit.
Hmm,
I have a couple of those, and then the corrected cover.
gotcha. Alrighty, here we go. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. These are my final two, and these are like 1A, 1B, my favorite album covers of all time.
Okay.
They're not. They'd probably be on a top 10 list too. Maybe, definitely this one. Maybe not the next one.
Okay.
But of all time favorite albums too. Whenever we do that, so let's go with Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell.
Very cool.
I've always just adored this album cover ever since I discovered it, and almost 20 years ago at this point, like 15. Yeah, just angels taking a break, smoking, playing cards. Like
Awesome.
it just fits the album, Heaven and Hell, and I just love it. I love the back too. Got the guys all sketched out. Very cool, very iconic, very classic album. Definitely on my all-time top 10 albums. Listen to this record a ton. Probably my most listened to Black Sabbath record.
So I know you like other Sabbath records too. Where does that rank in your Sabbath record? Like is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 1?
It's probably my favorite.
Okay.
Probably my favorite Sabbath record of all time. Okay. Yeah. Master Reality is really good too. Like for Ozzy, that's probably my favorite Ozzy record. And then I do like the Tony Martin era quite a bit too. But this is definitely one A for Sabbath, and it's definitely in my top 10 of all time. Definitely be the only Sabbath record on my top 10 of all time.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, I absolutely adore this record. This is a nice, clean 80s pressing. Kind of a hard one to find clean because obviously the black lends itself to ring wear and other marks and imperfections. So was very excited to get this when I got back into collecting. And one of my all-time favorite. I do love the bottom here. It's got the lyric, the world is full of kings and queens who blind your eyes and steal your dreams. It's heaven and hell. I just like that. They got that quoted on the bottom of the liner notes there. So, one of the very best.
You and I going store to store for like probably a year trying to find a really nice copy of that record because we would find just trash.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 12 years ago, a long fucking time ago. And we finally found one that was super nice, and it took forever though. But that's all we got out of it.
Yeah, I bought that. There's a gatefold version of it too, and there's a gatefold like new release too. That's really nice. That's just the non-gatefold. Yeah, I bought that like right when I got back into collecting, and then probably like almost 2 years ago now, and that was like $20, and that even destroyed copies of that now are like 50. So
yeah, it's
crazy.
Fucking insane. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. All right, so I got 2 more left, like you. These are just kind of like these were honorable mentions, I guess. Like,
okay,
I'll just run through them, whatever. But just ones I always really, really liked. So, Morrison Hotel by the Doors. I just thought this was a very sick cover. So this was not planned. So like they didn't know the Morrison Hotel existed necessarily. They obviously had nothing to do with it. And so when they found it, Jim Morrison, obviously lead singer. So when they found it, they wanted to take a picture, and they asked the guy, the front desk guy, like, "Hey, can we come take this picture real quick?" And he's like, "No." And like, all right, well, like, fuck. So they tried to figure out what to do, and they saw him walk away. And when he walked away, they ran in, and they took this photo.
Oh wow!
And, I forget the guy who did the photo. I'm sure it says on here, whatever. But like, Henry Diltz. I follow him on Instagram, and he still posts up a lot of cool like extra shots and stuff, and like alternative shots and everything else from this session. His actual his gallery is called the Morrison Hotel Gallery, and he's taking pictures for everybody, every big rock guy, every big rock photo you ever saw in the 70s. And 60s and 70s was always Henry Diltz. He was the official photographer for Woodstock. Like he did a bunch of shit. So super sick. And then also the very backside here is the original Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh wow!
So that again, that was not a thing back then. That was just another dive bar in LA. So it's a Hard Rock Cafe. And then the inside, I always just thought that was super sick. It's just them having a beer in the actual Hard Rock Cafe. Just looking fucking awesome. Just massive Doors fan. And this is a super sick copy. I think this might be a German press, if I remember correctly. I think. But it's super nice. I also love the texturized sleeve. Fucking sick. So, love that. So Morrison Hotel. And then I also love the record too. The music's super cool. And another one that came to mind immediately. First Rage record.
Oh
obviously.
yeah.
So just fucking insane. With the Buddhist monk lighting himself on fire in protest of the oppression on Buddhism, which I did not know that was why he did it. Was because Buddhism was being oppressed, and he was protesting, and that's why he lit himself on fire.
Gotcha.
Did not know that. I always just was under the impression it was a war protest, whether it be for Vietnam or otherwise. I just assumed that, but then once I looked it up, I was like, oh, it's a very different reason for protest. But yeah, just super fucking intense, super crazy, and obviously, Rage Against the Machine is the protest band, so it kind of makes sense. But also a very insane first thing the band did. Like this is the first record, the first thing that you ever got exposed to. Obviously the music, but in the record, like this is the cover. Like that's fucking insane.
Yeah, and if you had never seen that before, you're like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, a real fucking photo of a man killing himself. Like fuck me. Yeah. Also the record, obviously legendary record, but love it. So Rage's first record is the 20th anniversary edition. Super sick.
I actually, on the same topic, I actually saw a copy of Dawn of the Blackhearts Mayhem when that's the record with Dead on it at Zia. So
really?
I did see that at Zia. Yeah, I've never even seen that before in person before, so it was cool to see. It was too expensive. I didn't want it, but it was too expensive. I don't want to own it anyway. But
yeah, so I've never actually seen it. How graphic is that picture?
It's fucking gnarly, dude. Like I don't recommend it.
Do you want to look this up right now?
I mean, you can. It's readily available if you want to look it up. It's pretty gnarly, but
let's see here. All right.
Yeah, they had it all covered up. It's like they had it all they had sticky notes all over it, and then they had it.
Oh, really?
They had it bagged up on the wall. Or they wanted like $80 for it. I don't even know what pressing it is because there's so many pressings of that, and obviously it's an unofficial bootleg anyway. So
yeah. Which record is it?
Dawn of the Blackhearts. Okay. It's a live set. Just doing live reactions to Mayhem.
All right, so it's not on Wikipedia. So hold on. So now I gotta.
You just gotta Google it. Just Google it.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever saw it, and obviously I've seen the picture before. That was the first time I ever saw a pressing of it in person.
My brother.
Yeah, I told you not to look at it.
That's the real picture. Like that's the real picture.
Yes, that's the picture that Euronymous took. Yes. Yeah, gnarly, fucking gnarly.
Yeah. Remember when we were kids, Ty, and there was Rotten.com.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think it's I don't want to look. I'm sure it's bad, but back in our day, there was Rotten.com, and Rotten.com had all the worst things ever on it, and had, I believe, I saw the Kurt pictures on there, and
okay. See, I don't even think I ever even really looked them up. I don't think I probably have seen them, but I don't think I actually don't think I've ever seen those.
I don't know if they were real. I'm sure that I've seen them because I know the shoes and everything else.
Yeah.
And I know back in the day there was a T-shirt that existed that people had with like the picture on it, basically. And like it's the whole, obviously it's him and the whole, all his clothes and stuff, whatever.
I mean, that's basically the same thing with that. Like they made
exactly
bootleg T-shirts of it and shit too.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen those. I don't want to look at it, but because those would have to be obviously crime scene photos that leaked out.
It have to be, yeah, because nobody ever was in there besides the police, obviously, and then the electrician never fucking took any pictures of it, right?
Unless you subscribe to the Courtney Love theory.
That's true, but then that's just evidence that she killed him. So,
yeah, very true. I don't know. Jury's out.
I don't think they want to do that. But yeah, there's a lot of bad things on Ron.com, and suicide stuff was on there. And I remember just being like, I think I was like 11, 12 years old, and like I was stupid enough to click on links to shit, and it was awful. Oh, yeah. And there's a handful of things, Ty, that to this day, as a 30-year-old man, fucking haunts me. Like I think about it way too often.
Yeah, I probably know some of the shit that you're talking about. When the Middle East videos were coming out and shit. Yeah, that's shit that you didn't know like what the fuck you were getting into. Like, and yeah, it's fucking wrecks you. Like if it doesn't wreck you, something's fucked up with you.
The one that I really remember is a weightlifter who was lifting weights, and then his insides came out of his nether regions.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that bit. Yeah, that's rough.
We need flag now. We're getting demonetized on YouTube here. We're not going to make any money off this video.
It's rough, yeah. We're gonna have to eat tuna this week. Shit.
Yeah, don't kids, if you're listening, don't look up any of this weird shit. It's awful. Or wreck you forever.
Yeah. But yeah, I actually saw that record in person, and yeah, it didn't.
Cool.
Like, it didn't have any dates on the back of it, so I don't know how old it was. Like, that record's been... Yeah. I'm sure if it was in the old 90s, it would have been thousands of dollars. So, obviously, it was just a recent bootleg. But, yeah, saw it in person. So, yeah, I was never going to... I don't want to own that record. The guys in the band, current band, don't condone it, so...
Yeah, just bad juju. Bad
exactly,
energy.
Just bad vibes. Just bad.
Yeah, don't need
that.
Right.
Let's get the good vibes going again. My favorite album cover of all time... Somewhere in Time by Iron Maiden, done by the great Derek Riggs. I have the Cyborg Eddie that's signed by the man himself. Met him at Con this year. So that was cool. I absolutely adore this album cover, man. There's so many hidden things in this album cover. When you're looking at references to the band and pop culture and shit like that, you got the guys on the back right there.
That's awesome.
Very cool. Cyborg Eddie, my favorite Eddie. Not my favorite Maiden record, but my favorite Eddie. My favorite Maiden album cover. My favorite album cover of all time, probably. And yeah, there's so many hidden things. Like on the back here, this is the Ancient Mariner seafood restaurant. What else is there? Live After Death is playing.
Oh, wow.
On the theater there. Phantom Opera House. Tyrell Corp is in the back there from Blade Runner.
Oh, yeah.
That's obviously what it's inspired by. And then you have the pyramids and stuff from Power Slave.
Yeah.
Like are kind of in the back there. What else? Aces High Bar. Bar awesome. Top. Like you could just sit here all day. L'Amour's, that was a club they played at a lot.
Isn't that in New York?
I'm almost... Yes.
Is that another one?
I think New York, yes. There might be one in England too.
Probably, yeah.
But either way, yeah, there's so many fucking references on here. It's just so cool. There's actually a cool version of this online that's like the gatefold version. Okay. And it's got more. So you can see more stuff that didn't make it onto this, like old school single LP.
That's awesome.
I don't know if they've ever done a gatefold version of it, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah. Well, if they're going to start doing... So we talked about this before already. So the Number of the Beast, that's the first big thing they did that's like a re-release necessarily, like a whole thing, right? Like, do you think they're going to do it for other records? Or is that the one they're going to do?
I don't think they will.
That's really weird to me. Because why wouldn't you, right?
I don't know. Like, why wouldn't you do something for Killers
Yeah.
or the first record? I mean, maybe they just hate Paul that much.
Jesus.
And they don't want to. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's all just Steve, so it's basically whatever he wants is going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love for them to keep going. Obviously, more shit. There's obviously shit that hasn't been put out there. Maiden always did like extra songs and B sides and shit. There, there's stuff that hasn't ever seen the light of day. So
yeah. They could do a 3 LP set or some shit, or a box set even for records and shit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what they're kind of doing with Number of the Beast, because they're doing Beast over Hammersmith included in that, which, like we talked about earlier, that hasn't been released in a very long time. So that is cool. So they could do something like that with every fucking album. I don't think they will. I really don't. Like, they might do like a anniversary pressing, but it's going to be similar to that. Like, it might just have a live album in there.
I mean, that's all you want to. That's all you can get, or all they'll give you. That's something, I guess. But it just makes no fucking sense to me. They have all these records that their fans have as the best Maiden record, and then every year it goes by, it's 30 years, 35 years, 40 years, or some shit, and they don't do anything with it. It just makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I really don't. I don't know.
I thought that. So to get back to the album cover. I thought maybe, because my favorite is Power Slave, but I'm a novice, obviously. But I always just thought everything about Power Slave to me is fucking sick. I love everything I ever see on the record. It's fucking awesome. So I thought maybe you're gonna go there, but it makes more sense to me because there's a lot of Easter egg kind of stuff in that record cover. It makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, this is like the Maiden's. If you're a Maiden fan, this is the album cover. Yeah, you can argue about the albums. Like, everybody has their own favorite.
But the artwork itself.
But the artwork itself, like, this is the artwork that you pick. And then you got the actual first Eddie is right here. There's a poster right here.
Oh, wow.
With the first Eddie.
Nice, Eddie lives.
Iron Maiden logo, like it's like a live advertisement or something. Yeah, I just love all the Easter eggs. Cyborg Eddie, just classic. He's still in every live show, so like, obviously he's iconic. He's beloved. You got like the eye, the Egyptian eye, right there.
Oh yeah.
So that's more Power Slave references. Very cool, man. Yeah, that's my favorite one. And unfortunately, Derek doesn't do any more artwork for the band. Weirdo falling out, more just Steve Harris shit. So
yeah.
So yeah, that's it, man. That is album covers. We went through a lot there, but that was fun. A lot of different gamuts. Got some cool hand drawn stuff, cool photography, a lot of different bands. So it kind of tells you that no matter what style of music, like, an album cover can certainly help.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's the first impression you get a lot of the time, especially way back when. Like, when we were kids and stuff, like, MTV was still a thing, obviously. But, like, for a handful of those records, like, that album cover is the first thing you ever saw. And especially, like, people before us, way, way back when, for a lot of those records, that is really the first thing they ever got exposed to was that album cover. So that had to hit you in a certain type of way to get you invested in the record and to buy it, the band, or whatever, and became a fan for life sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. So anyways, guys, we end every episode with the other person picking the topic. So this week it's my week to pick the topic. First off, we do want to say, if you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. Leave a comment down below. What are some of your favorite album covers? Like the video, do all the YouTube stuff. We would certainly appreciate it. So I've been kind of going back and forth. And I have one in my head that I want to do, but you might have a lot of overlap with what you just did.
Sick.
So I don't know if that'll make it easy for you, or I should choose something else. But I'm just gonna go with it. I'll go with my gut here. I'm gonna go with, like, quintessential or favorite high school records.
Okay.
So records that you listened to a lot in high school. You maybe not listen to them a lot anymore, but there were records that you listened to, like, those 4 years or for 1 year in high school, just a ton, and stuff that might still stick with you or not. So
there's gonna be quite a bit of crossover there, but I can make do and mend here and figure something out. But Yeah, that's there's a lot. That'll be a whole. That'll be very easy and / hard to do.
Gotcha. So if there is crossover, so be it. But I'm sure there's gonna be there's a ton from that back catalog that you could replace with stuff that you showed tonight. But anyways, guys, we will see you next time on the Living Deadwax podcast. Peace.